Today we're going to learn about diatonic, and diatonic basically means we're looking at a key of music such as C major or G major, so it comes from this scale. Now, the music you can hear is using the diatonic scale of C major and the chords that belong to C major. This is a game changer. Let's take a look. What does diatonic really mean? If you take a scale of C major, for example, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, that's straightforward. If you don't know what scales are, I'll link a video below and you can take a look at that. Each scale is made up of 7 different notes. Degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if you take your shape of a C major chord, so you've got a major third and then a minor third, that's your shape, and we're using fingers 1, 3 and 5. So by using fingers 1, 3, 5, you can go up each note of the scale but keep that shape, that pattern. Okay, so your muscle memory will kick in and you go 1, 3, 5. Now, first of all, what do I mean by 1, 3, 5? I'm just talking about our fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, miss 1, play 1, miss 1, play 1. So that's our root position. I've got it on the screen so you can see it there. Root position, C major scale, with your chords forming on every single note of that scale, from C going up to the octave of the next C. Let's take a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what am I doing there? I'm playing a chord on every note. Okay, here we go. C. Now that's D minor. That's E minor. That's F major. That's G major. Are you following on the screen? Got A minor. This one is what we call a diminished because it's actually like a double minor, and we'll talk about that later on. And then back to the root of C, your tonic, your keynote. Okay, so let's just take this a bit further up. When we are playing our C chord, we can actually notate C, E and G. However, we can play it in different positions. So we're going to take it one step further and put it into the first inversion. Okay, I'll catch you in a moment. So now you can see on the screen, you've got your first inversions built using your chords that we learned in the first part of the lesson. And all we're going to do is invert those chord positions. So let's just take it from C major. We've got a C. We're going to take off the C there. I'm going to put it above here. So of course you need to change what fingers you're using, because 1, 3, 5, even though you could do it, it doesn't feel as comfortable. Okay, you put the string on your wrist and you don't want pain when you're playing, so you go 1, 2, 5. And so as indicated in PDF that comes with this lesson, it's all about the comfort and the right position. So we're going to take our C and take it away, put it to the above, and that gives us our C chord first inversion. And if you can see the music, you can notice that you've got a C and then this chord here. Now most people will think, oh, if it starts on F, that means it's an F chord. No, it takes the notes from the D minor. So let's take this back to root position for a moment. D, F and A goes to F, A and D. Same note, just in the first position. And we can go right up the scale, and I'm going to do that right now. So follow along and we'll see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's moving up every time. Go to the A minor, the B diminished sound, and finish on C. 2, 3, 4. Now we've got a slightly different movement in the harmonic situation there, because the actual tone is not the highest note on G, it's actually C. And the first version sounds like a really friendly chord as well. It rings out lovely. So C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. Now, while we're here talking about the inversions, let me just mention, if you were to start and do this, let's say it's a G major or an A major, or whatever scale you want to work in, and what I mean by scale, a key of music, what the scale relates to, you could change the way you think about your chords and just see them as numbers and degrees of the scale. So chord 1 is major, chord 2 is minor, chord 3 is minor, chord 4 is major, chord 5 is major, chord 6 is minor, chord 7 is a nasty one, it's a diminished, but we'll come back to that one like I said in the past. And then we're going to go for the C. Just talking about the diminished, it's not a particularly popular one, especially in modern music and pop music, and it's more of a jazz kind of sound, so it's not really used that much, so I wouldn't worry too much about your diminished chords. Well, let's now jump into G major. So G major, most of the white keys, but we've got the F sharp. Let's take chord 1 for example. In root position, G is a chord 1, G major, of course it is. Now in the second note of G is an A note, so build a chord on the A and it's A, C and E. That's a minor, we can hear the minor. Let's carry on. Chord 3 is a minor, it starts on B and we know that's a B minor. Now chord 4, is that going to be major or minor? What do you think? Of course it's the C major. That's chord 4. Let's go for A major. I'm just proving this can work in any key. So, chord 1 in A is of course A major. Chord 2, of course, is a minor. Chord 3, a little bit tricky. C sharp minor. Chord 3 is a minor. Chord 4 is a major. Let's go for chord 5. Is it going to be major or minor? What do you think? Can't look at the screen, it's not there. Chord 5 is a major. Of course it is. Okay, and so on. So what you're realising is as long as you know your scale and the notes from the scale, no matter what scale it is, as long as you know your key, you can play all those notes, all those scales, all those chords. Let's jump back to C major for a moment and look at the second inversion and how we can move across the keyboard. G is root for our second inversion. We can't invert it 4 times because technically we're going back to the key note of C or whatever key you're playing in. So C, first inversion there, and G there. So even though we're starting on G, it's still using the notes from C chord. C, E and G. Okay? Let's go for it. C chord. D, D minor. E is E minor. F, F major. G, G major. A minor. B diminished. And C. Now we know that we can call them a different name. We can call them 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished and major again. Now that is the way that I would always think about chords. I wouldn't think about them in actual names of the chords. I just think about how they can be from the degree of the scale. So if I'm in D major, I know chord 1 is a major, I know 2 is a minor, I know 3 is a minor. There we go, diminished there. G, A major, B minor. because we are using the notes from the scale. So it's really important you learn the scale first before you try and play your chords, because you won't be able to play the chords if you don't know the black notes or the right notes in your scale. So a way to practice this could be learn your scale and then just see it as chord 1 is major, chord 2 is minor, chord 3 is minor, chord 4 is major. And what you notice is chord 1, 4 and 5 are the major ones. Chords 2, 3 and 6 are the minor ones. As long as you know that, you're laughing. You've got it sorted. It's not rocket science. It's just getting that under your belt and you're away. The introduction music, I was doing something like this. They're known as chord sequences or chord progressions. So let's now look at some chord progressions that you can take away and start working in your own music and improvising. Let's take a shot at this. So let's now take away 2 or 3 chord progressions that you can apply to any scale, any chords, and it'll be great. I promise you. Okay. The first one is a classic rock and pop. So a lot of classic rock and pop music tends to use the chords 1, 4, 5, 1. I didn't say C, F, G, C, because if you're not in the key of C major, it's not those chords. And that's why it's so important to know your numbers and not the chords. So I'm going to play something to go with this. 2, 3, 4. I know there are some extra little tricks there, and we'll talk about that in another lesson, which is about how to flow and play around chords together in more detail. But it basically is moving the chords around on the keys. The next chord progression is the most popular one for the past 20 years in pop music. Okay, and it's the classic chord 1, chord 5, chord 6, and chord 4. I can't count, but there we go. Okay. So this is how it sounds. If I play it in certain positions, certain songs will stand out to you straight away. 2, 3, 4. And chord 1. Chord 5. Chord 6. Chord 4. How many songs use this chord sequence? Endless. There's so many songs that use that. The third progression is more suited to jazz and occasionally a little bit of blues kind of music. Maybe ragtime a little bit as well. But it's the 251. I've got a great video on 251 chords. Check it out. I'll link it below. Okay, so in simple terms, 251, D minor, G, C. If you're in C major. What if you're in G major? Let's rock up a little bit. So G is 1, A minor is 2, and the 5th of G major is D. So play a D chord, and we'll go down to a G again. 2, 5, 1. So in a jazz style, I'll probably play something like this. nifty one there is F minor. 4 minor is lovely actually. It's a nice one to finish on. So if you like that sound, I've got a great video on 251 jazz, and also if you like the blues, all that kind of sound, it's all based around chords and sequences and scales. Check out the blues videos as well, you're going to love it. Okay, so I hope that's been useful for you. You can pause, you can download the PDF, which is, I'll put it there, and you can download it. Use a PDF. It's one of those really great little sort of resources that just gives you some information. The chord sequence are on there, the scale on the left hand is written down, all the chords are there. Just enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below though, kind of things you're looking for, and also what you're kind of creating. It's endless. There's so much more coming your way. So thank you for subscribing, because I'm hoping you have, and liking and all that kind of thing. But most importantly to me, it's about what you're getting out of it. Okay, until next time, I'll see you later.